time it is, Craig? Yeah, favorite segment, man. It's the Who You Got. This is the last one. Bills versus Chiefs. All right, this is, man, okay, this is a winner. Everybody's going to be tuned in. A lot of people say they wish this was a championship game. People have been waiting for this. This has been building up. So, offensive quarterbacks, you got Josh Allen, who's playing phenomenal this year. You got Patrick Mahomes. I have to go with Patrick Mahomes because when you get to the AFC Championship, lose to Tom Brady, probably the greatest quarterback of all time. Then you go to a Super Bowl and win it. You go back to a Super Bowl and lose to Tom Brady. That's a tough beginning resume. And then the way both quarterbacks played phenomenal last game, both against good defenses. That's the guy going on, man. Patrick Mahomes, man. Receivers, the receiver core. Listen, Dawson Knox is a really good tight end and underrated, catches a lot of touchdowns, and then you have Stephon Diggs. So the Chiefs also have Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. So the dynamic is good. I'm giving the edge to Kansas City because of Kelsey. And listen, their running game is all right. But Jerick McKinnon has been showing up. He's been showing up and he's been playing good. And this time of year, it's the unsung heroes that get you to the Super Bowl. So Jerick McKinnon is playing really well. So I give the offensive edge to the Chiefs. The defensive edge, I got to go Buffalo, man. Let me tell you something. That interception, was that Micah Hyde? Was it Jordan Poyer? I think it was Jordan Poyer. Against Mac Jones.
That was Micah Hyde.
That was Micah Hyde.
I think so. Could be wrong.
So,
Interception in the end zone, right?
Yeah. Well, it was like the way that's why he's an all-pro. Because the way that he snatched the ball out of the air, he tracked it down and caught it perfectly. And I think the Bills' defense, the interior, their pass defense, they built their defense to build the Chiefs. That's what they've done. And they've had a good defense. So I'm going to give defensive Bills get the edge of defense. Coaching. Sean McDermott's a great coach. He's going to be there for a long time. But it's Andy Reid, man. Big Red, as they like to call him. He said a quote the other day that's so funny. He said, yeah, man, winning the playoffs is like a piece of good chocolate cake. And then they dangle it right in front of you. You just want to eat more. Like his quotes are legendary, man. He's a great coach. He still contacts his players. He still talks to Michael Vick, still talks to T.O. This is what they've said it out their own mouths. They keep in touch with Andy Reid. So, that's what I'm giving him the edge. I just think he's great, innovative play caller, and he's going to have Kansas City. Once again, the wheels are turning. All right, this game is going to be good. I can't wait to watch it to start to finish. These teams have been waiting for this matchup since last year, since the AFC Championship game, since Stephon Diggs stayed and watched the Chiefs win and watch the Chiefs celebration, and he's going to end up doing it again because I have the Chiefs winning against the Buffalo Bills, even though they're hot right now. I don't know if they're ready to take that stage in this Kansas City. So I have Kansas City winning an extremely good game, 38-35. All right, Corey. Yep.
All right, game of the weekend. Yeah, I wish this game was next week, but it is what it is. Offensively, obviously, I'm going with Kansas City. I know Josh Allen has been playing phenomenal football, but you got to go with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They've gotten into a flow, and it's playoff time. It's in Kansas City, and there's a reason that the Chiefs have gone to back-to-back Super Bowls, and it's Patrick Mahomes. Defensively, I am going to go Buffalo. Over their last 5 games, including the playoff game, they're giving up 15 points per game. This is a type of game where they're going to greatly miss a guy like Tre'Davious White. But they still had the number 1 overall defense and number 1 scoring defense on the season. Kansas City turned it on about the halfway point or so defensively, but Buffalo's been a great defense all year. They loaded up on pass rushers in the offseason, and I think they'll have a good shot at getting after Mahomes this weekend. Coaching, again, obviously, you have to pick Andy Reid. No knock on McDermott, but it's Andy Reid's been a phenomenal coach for years now. On the whole, this is the 2 teams that everyone thought would be battling it out for the AFC. They should be. I think the winner of this game is probably a heavy favorite next Sunday to win the AFC. And Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have become one of those duos like Brady and Belichick before, or Montana and
Montana.
Yeah, forgetting
Bill
names
Walsh.
there. Yeah, but
Bill Walsh.
yeah, Bill Walsh. It's you have to pick them until they lose. It's they've been that good. They've and logically everything says Kansas City at home. They've shown enough to be able to win, but ever since that second half against Tampa Bay for Buffalo, where Josh Allen threw the team on his shoulder and almost brought them back in that game that they had no business being even anywhere close to winning, the Bills have been playing some inspired football. Mm-hmm. They are a team on a mission. Their offense has greatly evolved late in the season as they've finally figured out that it is okay to run the football. And everything says Kansas City should win this game, but something tells me I think Buffalo pulls off the upset. So I'm going to go Buffalo 23-21.
All right, Corey. A lot of people picking Buffalo. A lot of people. All right, Craig.
Okay, well, man, on the offensive side of the ball, to me, it's close because you got 2 really good quarterbacks, obviously, so they kind of cancel each other out, I guess. The running game is Buffalo's running game. It looks a lot better than it did, or it looks better now than it did early in the season. So I like Buffalo's running game now. It seems like they kind of found something in Singletary, and they're getting the ball a lot more. But I can't really. I don't know if I can take their offense overall. But Kansas City's off. I mean, their running game is just not. It's not. I don't know. They have guys, but they just like CEH. I thought he was going to be that next big like Priest Holmes or something like that. But he just hasn't. He hasn't developed into that right now. Maybe they'll find something. Maybe he can do something next year. I'm not sure. As far as their receivers go, like it's pretty much Stephon Diggs. I think Dawson Knox is solid, but he's not a big number 2 guy like Travis Kelce is, and sometimes he's a number 1. So I'm taking Kansas City's offense. Tariq Hill, Pringle, like those guys, Hardman. I mean, these guys are playing really good football. On the defensive side, though, I got to go with the Bills. They had the number 1 rated defense in the league for a reason. Defense still, and the way the defense came out last week, and I mean, granted it's a rookie quarterback, but they just destroyed that Patriots team, and it's gonna be tough because they're going on the road, obviously, in this game. I just don't know if they have enough to get over that hump. Granted, it's 2 teams that are used to this cold weather. The Bills, they're not opposed to, and they're not scared of going on the road in Kansas City, so they're not going to be afraid at that moment. And they played them last year. It wasn't that close of a game last year, but I think the Bills learned a lot from last year's game, and they're going to bring that into Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday night. So, but yeah, I think the Bills defense is really good. And as far as coaching goes, I got to go with Andy Reid. The job that he's kind of done in the second half of the season, leading his team. They could have had the number 1 overall seed. They didn't lose to Cincinnati. But here they are. And unfortunately, like Corey said, we get this game in the second round versus getting it in possibly the third round. I thought these two teams were going to battle it out in the AFC Championship game, but it happens, I guess. But yeah, I'm leaning more towards Andy Reid as far as the coaching goes. I think the job that he's done, kind of resurrecting this team from a lot of people saying when I think they were 3-4 when the season started, and a lot of people were saying they were done. They don't look like the same team, which I mean they still kind of really don't. But their offense, I mean, it's just like last week, their offense just clicked and everything happened, and they showed up and they put up 42. They're playing against Ben Roethlisberger on the other side, but still, like, their offense really hasn't done that, and as far as that many points and the way they looked in a long time. The key to me is going to be turnovers. If Patrick Mahomes turns the ball over like he did against Pittsburgh, and granted he only had one, but that led to a touchdown. So
that's going to make a difference. Yeah,
that can't happen. If he can just put the pieces together, and I think he will. Maybe force some turnovers on the other side. That's what Kansas City's going to have to do in this game, and stop the run. I think if they can probably put some pieces on, some bodies on Stephon Diggs, maybe try to make somebody else beat him. Same thing with the other side. I mean, it's going to be kind of more. It's going to be tougher because you have two guys over there, Kelsey and Hill, but I think the Bills defense can get to the quarterback and sack Mahomes and make him uncomfortable back there in the pocket. So I say all that to say I'm still picking the Chiefs in this game. None of these games I really feel confident about, except the Packers. But
that's the only one I feel comfortable with.
I'm going 34 to 28. Picking the Chiefs. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm changing my pick from the Rams-Bucks game. You know what? It's too many people on the offensive line hurt, man. I seen what happened.
It's a lot. They played a lot of football. They played a lot of football, man. I just
remember what I saw last year in the Super Bowl with the offensive line for the Chiefs and how banged up they were, and they weren't.
Yeah.